Now it's moving?
Yes.
Oh, good. Hello, everyone. I am Victoria Belen Ayala Pena. I'm from Argentina, as you know. And it's an honor for me to tell you about my latest investigation. As you know, the main route of transmission of SARS-CoV-2, like other respiratory viruses, is through virus particles loaded in droplets and excretions that are spread by coughing and breathing. The ease with this type of viruses can stay and travel through air currently implies a significant risk of transmission, indoors and in crowded places. The second route of transmission is by direct contact with infected surfaces. Due to the persistence of SARS-CoV-2 is depending on the type of the surfaces, and due to the spread of SARS-CoV-2 in healthcare setting care is a fact, it's necessary to have functionalized surfaces or tools who could functionalize several surfaces, including the personal protective equipment, to inactivate the virus, evading the viral transmission. In recent years, chitosan has attracted attention for being an biocompatible, biodegradable, non-toxic, non-antigenic polymer with antimicrobial properties. Chitosan is synthesized from chitin, and chitin is a typical component of mollusks, insect skeleton, fungal cell walls, and crustaceans, and it can be obtained from the waste of the leather. The mechanism of action of chitosan is against microorganisms is not completely understood, but previous reports support that there is a strongly interaction between chitosan and several viruses. These studies demonstrated that chitosan strongly absorbs the particles of viruses, as you can see here and here. This interaction is primarily electrostatic. This interaction can inhibit infection of ability of the virus and or directly kill the virus by disrupting its protective membrane. Other studies demonstrate that chitosan derivative could block the viral attachment to host cells. However, chitosan has limited activity as antimicrobial agent. That substitution at the amino group and hydroxyl group can significantly alter its efficacy against several viruses. As you can see here, in this example, amino and hydroxyl group were coupled to PBA, and here for TTMAC, and here for several branches. So we take advantage of these characteristics of chitosan, which is its little implicit chemical group by elements of interest. Our element of interest is inorganic compound. It's well known that chitosan can couple the inorganic component through the formation of a stable chelate. Certain metals have been described as having an antimicrobial property with the ability to inactivate SARS-CoV-2, attributable to the ability to generate reactive oxygen species and binding to viral protein and membrane lysis in enveloped viruses. The bioactivity of some metallic moieties, for example, from copper and silver, are extensively known concerning the ability to inhibit several kinds of bacteria, fungi, and viruses. And here, as you can see, ERCOG demonstrated that silver and copper can destroy DNA or RNA too. So this way, we obtained several formulations based on chitosan with metallic nanoparticles, as you can see in TEM photographies. These formulations were made with economic primary material and by low cost of production. These formulations were B1 or biopolymer 1, made with chitosan and copper and silver salts, and B2 or biopolymer 2, made with chitosan and copper salt and citric acid. As methodology, we employed two enveloped viruses, bovine coronavirus and herpes simplex type 1. So, functionalized surfaces were exposed to virus. Virus bovine coronavirus or herpes simplex type 1. Then, the surfaces were washed with 2 molar of sodium chloride. Remember, the chitosan virus interaction is a strongly electrostatic interaction. Then the surfaces were washed, as you know, and the viral titer was studied. For V1, first of all, we use 3-layer surgical face mask. And in the condition B, 3-layer surgical face mask were splashed, and in the condition A, the 3-layer surgical face mask were unsplashed. When they were dry, they were exposed to 1000 PFU of herpes simplex type 1 in a wet droplet simulated contamination. As you can see here in orange, rapid inactivation of the viral titer was obtained. The rate of inactivation was about 99.5%. It was more than 2 log at 1 minute of contact. With the aim of studying the persistence of virucidal activity of splashed surfaces mask, we evaluated the viral titer with respect to spraying time. We demonstrated that B1 splashes mask surfaces keep an important virucidal activity up to 50 days for herpes simplex type 1 and moderated activity up to 24 hours for coronavirus. Subsequent studies pointed to determine the antiviral activity of V1 formulation after repeated viral inoculum in a determined time. 4 drops were added 4 times during 24 hours on expressed surfaces mask, and the reduction of viral titer was about 100% in all conditions except in B24 hours for coronavirus. It was about 85%. Also, the antiviral activity of splashes plastic, polystyrene plastic, and woven cotton fabric were evaluated after repeated viral inoculum, and as you can see, the viral titer was reduced too. And then we perform antiviral and biosecurity assay. And the antiviral capacity of V1 formulation was estimated through the inhibition of several bacterial growth. Here, for example, Escherichia coli. V1 concentration equal to or greater than 0.1 indicates an inhibition of more than 95% of bacterial growth with respect to anthracic inoculum in white. When developing implements for personal use that are in direct contact with the skin, a key aspect is to ensure biosecurity. So we evaluated B1 cytotoxicity in cell culture. We adapted our study to this ISO, and the test revealed that there is no difference between the absorbance measured in the control condition with respect to cells exposed to different concentration of the extract of B1 films. Then we perform an assay to evaluate the possible irritating effect in rabbit skin during 72 hours, induced by the solid product. The result shows that B1 is not irritating or corrosive to skin and does not cause the local or systemic adverse effect. So this another additional study, for example, with SARS-CoV-2, supported the patenting of this product in Argentina. We patented Perviral 24, as you can see here, the prototype, the first antiviral spray in our country. And for the other hand, we propose textile modified with chitosan formulation to be incorporated in the process of fabrication of functional cotton fabric textile. A novel insight is proposed by using a cross-linker agent as citric acid. Also, it's well known that citric acid content contributes to the antiviral response because of the disruption of the microorganism odor structure. Also, copper salt, as you know, were used as enhancer of antiviral activity. So, cotton fabric were impregnated with B2 formulation. And here, I want to show you that B1 is different to B2. B1 is a expressible formulation, and B2 is a formulation to be incorporated in the process of fabrication of functional cotton fabric textile. Well, first of all, we compare the antiviral activity after washes. Remember, they are textiles. And so we compare the antiviral activity after washes in B1 formulation, impregnated textile, with respect to a similar formulation without copper. Yes, this has copper and this not. As you can see, the percentage of titer reduction was low in condition without copper respect to B2. Yes, at table 4 show that there are no significant difference between the milligrams of copper eaten after 5 and 10 washes. These values were favorable, seeing a higher concentration of copper remained in textile, propitiating a prolonged antiviral activity. So, copper managed to perpetuate the antiviral activity despite washing on textiles. And as conclusion, we obtained economic formulation by industrialized process. B1 is a spreadable non-cytotoxin formulation with antibacterial and rapid antiviral activity. Remember, the inactivation was at about 1 minute of contact. B2 has a suitable property to the textile impregnation as well as antiviral properties. They both, B1 and B2, can be used not only in medical application, but also for manufacture of textile products for daily use in technical textile. And spray can be used in healthcare work uniform, home fashion and domestic product, and support apparel. Lastly, I would thank my interdisciplinary working group, managed with for Veronica Lasalle and Vera Alvarez from Kisur and Intema. In this work, I participate as a researcher responsible of antiviral activity studies and working in INIVIP from Argentina. Thank you for your attention. Any question?